Hello and welcome to another PA Matches cast. I'm Brian Perkis, and today we've got a 1v1 between Skeleton Prime and Extremes Pinot. We are on a single planet system. It's a Earth planet, mostly ice, with a thin band of trees. This band of trees gives Skeleton Prime a little bit of an advantage if he were to take advantage of it, or if he were to utilize it. All of these trees can be reclaimed for metal, which, if he's hurting or having trouble expanding, that can be very helpful. Pinot is going for bot factories, and so is Skeleton Prime so far. Skeleton Prime built an energy plant early on. That's not something you want to build. You're better off building a metal extractor or an energy storage. This energy plant doesn't really do much for you. Just makes you waste more energy. Radar is complete from Skeleton Prime, which now he has recon on Pinot. And Pinot does not have recon on Prime as of yet. He does have a bunch of docks moving around on what I'm assuming is a planet-wide area patrol, so probably won't be long. There's actually, wow, there's quite a bit of metal spots on this planet these days. The default amount of metal spots on planets tends to be not much, especially on the smaller planets. This is unfortunate. Skeleton Prime has got 3 fabricators moving out in 3 different directions, claiming metal spots. You're much better off grouping your fabricators and sending them off in groups. 2s and 3s is generally the best route. Both players have an equal factory count. Interesting. Pinot is building double barrel. Yeah, okay. Pinot built radar, so now both players have radar coverage. So pretty much both players have full vision over their opponents. In situations like this is where it'd be nice to have stealth field generator, or cloaking field generator, or something along those lines. Something that masks this area of radar coverage. Especially on these small planets where those radars are just so stinking powerful. This single radar has vision over probably at least half this planet, give or take. So both players right now are just kind of dancing around, trying to get in a firing solution and get in close on some weak spots. These single-barrel laser defense towers are going to be very, very useful right now. Those single-barrel laser defense towers are very, very good against docks. The single barrels have a high rate of fire. And, oh man, that fire looks so cool. A high rate of fire and can one-shot docks. Some very nice rating here from Pinot. He's getting in some nice metal extractor kills. Oh, and there's a bit of an engagement over here. Pinot is sticking just with the bots. Those bots are going to be very good for some flanking and hard-hitting aggression, but... well, not hard-hitting aggression. Oh well. But with players being this close together, vehicles really are the way to go. Because both players are so close, the speed isn't really that big of a deal. So you're better off having the slightly slower moving vehicles, but they pack a much more of a punch. The Infernos in particular are going to be very, very powerful in such close quarters. Infernos just wreck shop once they get into the enemy base. Pinot is now working on stepping up to vehicles. He's got a lot of bots, and he needs to use those bots to his advantage, and they're not going to be doing well in these engagements against these tanks. Pinot needs to take all of his bots, and he needs to get them in large clumps and send them around to attack these backside areas, which he is working on doing He does not have radar coverage of that far back, but he is moving in that direction. And there we go. Now he has scouted out those metal spots, and he's gonna hopefully raid them, because that's quite a lot of metal spots. And here we see the tanks the bolos outclassing the docks. And right now they're just kind of dancing around each other, trying to find a weak spot. That's so important in Planetary Annihilation. You gotta deal more damage than you take, although that's the case with all RTS games. With Planetary Annihilation, you gotta flank around, you gotta duck and move and hit some unguarded areas, which is very difficult on such small planets with these radar coverage. Prime is really hurting for energy right now. It needs to get that under control, and both players are floating metal. They need to put out some metal storage or more factories or something. Ideally more factories. Metal storage can be very useful for helping deal with the fluctuation, but ultimately you got to use it. Man, look at that. That jumped up to 80 extra metal per second for both players. Let's take a look at the total unit count and factory count. Both players are at 10 factories, and it looks like they both have the same breakdown of factory types, give or take. Bombers being built by Prime. Those are going to make for some nice harassments. Let's take a look at the backside of the planet. Wow. Pino is not expanding at all. He had one fabricator go out to expand, but is not expanding any further. Prime, on the other hand, is expanding. Pino really needs to be expanding more and improving his economy and using his economy. It's so common for players to send out fabricators to expand, but then not have them expand enough. Throughout the match, you've got to constantly go and check to see how your fabricators are doing and make them expand further. Never stop expanding both your economic output and your production power. These two tanks are running around in the back, gonna get in some nice harassment. It's gonna be more of a nuisance than actual damage, and 8% left on that. Man, fighting all over the place as players are trying to flank around and get in some wins. Man, these two tanks right here are probably gonna be a big deal. They're sitting here unharassed, and they're able to take out metal extractors at their leisure. There we go. Finally, Pino is sending docks to go deal with those tanks. It'd be nice that it would have been nice if Pino or Prime had several more tanks in that mix. Units are kind of trickling forward bit by bit, and they're getting swarmed by primes. You gotta clump up your units if you want them to be effective. Oh, some nuisance over here from Pino, but ooh, nice fabricator kill. But running into the single-barreled laser defense tower, and it gets taken out. When flanking around with bots, you don't want to have... Oh, nice! I missed that! Some fantastic raiding from Pino, coming in the back and destroying quite a few metal extractors. Unfortunate pathing glitches. When you're running around flanking with bots like this, you need to not have two tanks in the mix, because that slows down the entire group. These guys, which now Pino is finally working on expanding and getting up some laser defense towers to protect those expansions, but those bots might have actually been able to chase down and kill that expanding bot fabricator before it built that double-barrel laser defense tower, except they were slowed down by that docks. Man, both players are doing a pretty excellent job of flanking right now. These bots are running around getting in 2 metal extractor kills, not going to be able to finish off that single-barrel laser defense tower. What else is going on? Nice. Pino's got these bots out to guard this expanding fabricator. Very good move. And a large force from Pino moving forward. Let's take a look at total factory count. Pino has one more factory and quite a few more units. And a lot of his units are vehicles. A large bot force from Prime moving forward over on the North Pole here. Doesn't look like they're going to end up causing much damage. Ah, that's unfortunate. Idle commander here from Pino. I was wondering when this was going to happen. Prime is working on an advanced bot factory. That's a risky investment because everything is so fast-paced and close quarters that it's going to take a lot. It takes a lot of metal to build a bot factory, so it's going to take a while. So a lot of metal investment is going to be going into the bot factory rather than into units. So Prime is at risk of being overwhelmed like he is right now. But if he does manage to get up an advanced factory, then it will cause a lot of damage. Those advanced units are very, very powerful. And can make a big difference, especially with the economy in the mix. Man, these units are from Pino are just running rampant. Took out the fabricator that was building that bot factory, so that bot factory is going to degrade and disappear. So that was a very, very nice win from Pino. Things are not looking good for Prime, as his energy is in the negatives and his metal is being wasted. And Pino's units are continuing to move on forward into Prime's base, taking out factory after factory. The factory discrepancy is rising. Prime should probably bring his commander to the front lines. Oh, maybe not. Here comes a bunch of units from Pino. This attack is probably going to be the finishing attack here. At the very... Oh, nope. Self-destruct. Yep. There was not much Prime could do at that point. The unit discrepancy was just way too great. Wow, that was a fantastic match from two players that I don't think I've ever seen play before. I love matches like that where some new players that I've never seen come out and surprise us with some excellent gameplay. Lots of action, close quarters, so that's expected, but lots of flanking, unit movement, very well played from both players. I look forward to seeing more from both. Thank you very much for submitting that, Extreme Pino. If y'all have a match that you think other people would enjoy watching, let me know. Head on over to pamatches.com/submit, and I'll cast it if it's any good. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to drop a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you next time.